Before we start, guys, quick apologies. I didn't have my earphones in for the first few minutes of the podcast, so when Mark speaks, it's kind of echoey. It does stop pretty quickly, but if you are annoyed by it, just skip several minutes into the show. Sorry about that, and here you go. Hello, and welcome to episode 145 of Dude and a Monkey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're seeing Mark's face again because apparently Skype doesn't let you resize the video of whoever's doing the video or something. I did look, but I think we all prefer Mark's face to mine. So I'm going to call it a success. Coming up on this week's show, we are not reviewing Dirty Grandpa.
We're not, no. Ian didn't want to, so we're reviewing Youth instead, aren't we?
Paolo Sorrentino's new film, which is much more my speed. We'll see how much more or less speed it is for Mark, but I'm very, very thankful. Anyway, we'll also talk about some trailers and some what we watched. We do have a couple of emails, and we might get some Twitter questions in as well, who knows. So, Mark, anything going on this week at all?
Not really, no. I've had a very busy work week as usual, so film kind of interest have taken a bit of a back seat. I know that you had a brief foray into dumping Twitter.
3 days.
3 days, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't use it as much as I used to, which I'm actually trying to come back to a little bit. But I'm going to use the fuck off technique. If somebody pisses me off, I'm going to go, fuck off. I bought an incredible book today.
Unfollow them or whatever, or mute them.
I wouldn't even do that. I'll just tell them to fuck off. And if somebody really starts pissing me off, I'll just unfollow them.
I won't. I don't think I'd maybe go that far unless they were like saying something pretty hardcore to me. But it is what it is. I have no problem with you doing that whatsoever. I'm not going to be the Twitter police on this. But,
yeah, I bought a new book today.
Oh yeah,
which I hold up the camera there. Right? It's a meat Bible. It's written by the people who do the Red Stew Barbecue. And I just thought it was like a standard kind of cookbook thing here. But it teaches you how to make like a fucking a jerky pit, a smoker, and all the different sauces and things like that. So I'm making shit out of this, and I may even video it and put it up on our channel.
That's good. I endorse this.
Yeah, it's incredible. A Tesco £12 is a hell of a book.
Nice, bloody hell, that's a recommendation.
Yeah. Well, it is. So I'm just looking forward to fucking make something out of it.
By the way, if my that's good. If my image seems a bit juddery at times today, I'm on a blow-up mattress that we got from my mum, like an airbed mattress thing, and it's it's a bit bouncy. It's a bit bouncy, but we'll see. Okay, so let's get on with it then. Trailers. Yeah. What have we got this week, bud?
There's a lot of kids stuff, to be honest. I think we're heading into sort of like the late sort of kids' holidays releases. Nine Lives,
came out in the US this week, I think.
The Kevin Spacey voice thing, where he becomes a cat. I was watching the trailer just going, why are these people involved in this?
I think Kevin Spacey needs money for that new studio he just took over.
Yeah, he's the creative director for Relative Media, isn't it?
Relativity.
Yeah, it is, yeah. The trailer for another trailer for The Secret Life of Pets, which I remember saying to you when the first trailer came out, was that if that film is just essentially a series of sort of vignettes all set about those pets, I'm bang up for it, and I'm really looking forward to it. Because that's not, there's an actual kind of story thread behind it where one of the pets gets lost, and now I don't care.
It looks like a mix between the plots of Toy Story and Toy Story 2.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it?
Like the mismatched, like the favoured pet that's kind of usurped by the new one. But then that's Toy Story, and then they're essentially carted off somewhere, and the others have to go and rescue them, like Toy Story 2. I'm assuming it's not going to end with them all being incinerated like Toy Story 3. I mean, we can hope. But yeah, it looks a lot less interesting than it did previously. But the poodle rocking out to System of a Down still makes me laugh.
That's it. It's. I would just prefer to just seeing it be, right, here's what this pet does in this room while its owners are out, here's what this pet does in this room while its owners are out, and this is how they interact. Don't give me essentially fucking Toy Story stories as well. It doesn't kind of work with that.
Aren't in, so there's going to be feedback like a motherfucker for the first couple of minutes.
There was.
Continue.
Trolls, the movie that nobody wanted, and they've made. Again, why? I watched the trailer. A day ago. And honestly, I swear to God, I cannot remember what happened in it.
Nothing.
At all. Other than the fact that I watched the trailer for Trolls because it is written down. I make a list of what I've watched and it's on that list. And so I know I've watched it, but I can't remember a single thing that happens in it other than the fact that they dance. All right. Who gives a fuck? It's a keyring, for Christ's sake. The confirmation, Clive Owen seems to have some kind of mental fucking problems, and he has to spend some time with his kid to get to know his kid, and that looks like one of those. It's from the people who wrote Nebraska, which you really liked and I liked. So. First out of the trailer, I was watching it going, this looks like one of those films, that we get 2 or 3 of every year, road trip kind of, all shot on location, and it's some actor trying to get a fucking indie actor award. And in the second half of the trailer, I started to go, actually, this is starting to get quite interesting, actually, this trailer now. Comes out, I think, on VOD, and then at cinema release the following week. So, one of those where I'll happily pay, because it's coming out on iTunes VOD release, I'll happily pay to maybe rent it or buy it, depending on how much it costs for that. It looks perfectly alright. And Kubo, the Legend of Two Strings, I think it's called, animation one. Looks quite interesting, I suppose, as far as animations go. They're all getting a little bit formulaic at the moment, animations, or those type of animations. If you look a little bit further, there's quite a lot of really good stuff out there, as with all stuff. But the idea of it is certainly better than the trailer of it, is what I'll say on that one. What have you caught this week?
Literally, the only thing I have to add is Angry Birds.
See, I didn't watch that out of principle because it's a fucking game on a fucking phone. It's not a fucking movie.
Lottie said, "Wow." I actually might have to take her to go see it if like TV ads come on and she starts bugging me about it. I actually might have to go and take her.
The thing is, with the Angry Birds movie, I thought it was like an abandoned idea now. I thought that they decided they were going to do it, and then they thought, fuck it, nobody cares anymore. But then again, the other day, I was waiting for Becky, who was trying some clothes on in a shop, in the fitting rooms, obviously, not just in the middle of the shop. And there was a guy who was sat down, you're doing the standard guy thing of looking at your phone, and he was playing Angry Birds. And I was, what, really? Seriously? Have I gone back to 2009?
There was a guy on my train playing a fucking PlayStation Vita the other day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Are they retro already?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen anybody apart from myself play on a Vita when I had one for about a week.
Coming back on the train back from London when we went to see the Hateful Eight, someone was playing Game Boy. There was a guy playing a Game Boy.
That I kind of respect.
And I thought, he looks like he's having fucking loads of fun. He really does look like he's having loads of fun.
No,
so I did make me think, and it was like a proper Game Boy. It wasn't like he was playing a Game Boy game on an app or anything like that. It was a proper fucking Game Boy with the fucking screen thing. I thought, I really hope he's had that Game Boy since, like, 1992.
Like 89-ish, yeah, totally. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that's it for trailers that I've watched. There's not been a great deal out, to be honest.
No, quite. Okay, cool. All right, let's move it along then. So, feature review this week is Paolo Sorrentino's Youth. So, stars Michael Caine, Harvey Keitel, Rachel Weisz, Paul Dano, and Paloma Faith as Paloma Faith.
Shh, don't fucking tell me all.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, Michael Caine is a retired composer and kind of conductor who is approached by an emissary of the Queen's to basically play at a concert for Prince Philip. He made a series of songs years before and was made famous for them, and he basically says no. And there's kind of a mystery in the film as to why. But he's also staying at this health spa / hotel along with Harvey Keitel, who plays a filmmaker friend of his, and Paul Dano, who plays an actor who kind of befriends him as well. And it's generally Caine having conversations with people while there's really, really nice imagery for about 2 hours. And Mark, what do you think of Youth?
It's a strange film. It is Youth. It's for the most part, it's absolute nonsense and utter, complete, total fucking wankery of the absolute highest order. However, it works, and its wonderment is it is thoroughly aware of the fact that it's pretentious and that it's wankery. Mm-hmm. And it not only revels in that, it actually takes the piss out of itself in that. And it's not done in a, look at how wonderful we are. It's done in a, look, these are some really wonderful images. Aren't they wonderful? And then there'll be somebody explaining that essentially that kind of thing is just bollocks. But it works so well. And the whole thing flows round at a pace where it's framed with all these different sort of music and these different kind of artistic things that take you on kind of a journey through all of these different bits. And it's a film that is essentially is about music, but never actually focuses really on music. It focuses on the whole emotion of music, and that's the core that's kind of running through it. And you're living with these people who are all have quite charmed existences and quite charmed lives, but are desperate to kind of try and find faults in their lives, but not in such a woe-ish me. They seem to all be quite well aware of, well, these are my problems, and they're big in my world. But let's be honest, they're quite fucking small in the actual real world, because, hell, we're in this fucking amazing health spa where everything is done for us and all we do is sit around. And it kind of works. And there's a certain a part in the film, Paul Dano, very early in the film, and Michael Caine have a conversation where Easton's saying, that where we have the same problem here. Paul says to him, I'm slightly paraphrasing, in that our moments of levity is what we'll be remembered for, instead of our moments, our better moments. And Michael Caine's response is, that's because our moments of levity might be our better moments. And it's that idea of they're all striving to be the artist, whereas there's an element of, well, it's the entertainment point of it that allows you to be an artist. You've got to be entertaining to be able to afford to be an artist. And it's that's what this film has. It has moments of fun levity within it that make you go, that's funny. It's fun. It's not overbearing. That's why it works so wonderfully.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. I really. Before it, I had a 9% strong ale brewed by Trappist Belgian monks. So after I had that, I was in a kind of a slightly woozy, dreamy state anyway. So this film was pretty much spot on for me. It's kind of meandering.
Yeah.
And like you say, it kind of goes about its business, but I had a really good time just in the world of this film. And I mean, to be fair, Sorrentino did that with The Great Beauty as well.
Yeah, which you really liked, didn't you? Yeah.
Fucking, that film is amazing.
Yeah.
And the way that it's both talking about how kind of horrible the life is while also reveling in it. The Great Beauty does that as well. And I like that. The like you say, the self-awareness that Sorrentino has, that like he's trying to make these points about, you know, these people are real people too with real emotions and things like that. But also look at all these fucking parties. Look at this cool stuff. Look at these elegant, glamorous people. You know, I mean, like the first shot of the film where it's the singer singing "You Got the Love," and
which started off really. When that started, I thought, fucking hell, this is gonna bug me. But then, 2 minutes later, Michael Caine started swatting about the sweet rapper, and I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this.
Yeah, no, quite, yeah. But I mean, that shot is just super, super stylish, and
yeah, it is, yeah, absolutely.
Sorrentino shoots the high life better than anyone living today, I think.
Sorrentino shoots the high life like you'd imagine Baz Luhrmann wishes he could if he took all of his ADD medication. Yeah,
yes. That's it. But it doesn't, with Luhrmann as well, there's always like an artifice to it.
He's always trying to show off, whereas Sorrentino's not. Sorrentino's trying to show off what he's fucking showing.
But I mean, absolutely. But also, I mean, like with Luhrmann, it always feels soundstagey.
Yeah.
You know, whereas this, it feels like they just rocked up at this spa and took it over for a couple of months.
Yeah.
You know, and probably in the evenings had parties like the kind of the evenings you have in this.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of saying that the Paloma Faith kind of weird cameo that arrives. Yeah. I was saying to Bex, I guarantee you, the night she was on set I bet she was on set for one fucking day, and they went, fuck it, we'll have you being this character.
Yeah.
And we'll have it being you. And she's gone, yeah, fine, fuck it. And then she'll have played a gig for the cast and crew and everybody that night, and they'll have a party. That'll have been it. It does seem like that kind of thing, like it was a blast to fucking film.
I mean, the Paloma Faith thing, I think it says something for Sorrentino that she agreed to basically play a mistress.
Yeah.
You know, and like playing herself as a mistress, you know, and just kind of going with it. And no, she's not in it much or anything, but she destroys Rachel Weisz's marriage.
Yeah.
And yet she's still happy to actually put her own name to it. Because I was going, that's Paloma Faith. Because yeah. And then she actually says, I'm Paloma Faith.
Yeah, Paloma Faith. That was
okay.
it. She came on screen, I was like, that's Paloma Faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she came up with, I'm a singer, I thought, that's a little bit, I'm Paloma Faith. And it's Paloma Faith, like, fair fucking enough then. You know?
Yeah.
Actually, the weird thing is, a friend of mine is a technician, a roadie. Fucking, if he fucking hears that, he'll fucking stomp me for that. He's not a roadie, he's a musical technician. He worked with Paloma Faith for a few months and said that she has a very, very good sense of humour about herself. About how ridiculous she is. She's not taking any of it seriously, apparently.
Oh, good on her. But I mean,
and loves a fucking drink.
Nice. No, I mean, she's not in it much. She's fine for what she's doing.
8 seconds she's in.
Yeah, I mean, she has like 3 lines, and she's in a kind of a music video dream sequence thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I like. There's this podcast I listen to, the Road Free Cinecast, and they term some films hanging out movies. And this is totally a hanging out movie. And
absolutely, yeah.
You know, it goes a bit darker towards the end, but Michael Caine and Harvey Keitel walk like hiking up a mountain, or Michael Caine and Paul Dano just walking along a path, just chatting.
Back from a shop, yeah.
I could watch that in combination with really well shot party scenes and hot Miss Universes having baths. Like I could watch that shit for hours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the weird thing is, it's just over 2 hours. I think this movie, isn't it?
Just
and there's bits I think you could quite easily lose, and it not have a fucking influence on the film. But like you say, I could have also taken a lot more of other bits within it. But yeah, there's the stuff like I've just sat around, when they're having bets on whether those people will talk to each other. They're great little moments within it, and like the walking and how much did you piss today is great. Or in watching the, let's be honest, Maradona character in absolute awe every time he moves.
Yeah.
It is great. It makes you wonder: were they going to try and cast Maradona in it, but then realised actually he's a bit mental. He might do something crazy. Or he's probably not allowed in Switzerland for some reason because he fucking probably owes them shitloads of money. But I think Paolo Sorrentino's from Naples, isn't he?
I haven't got a clue, mate. I like the guy, but I like his films, but I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, I'm sure he's from Naples, so and he's in like his mid-40s, so Maradona will be a fucking hero for that guy.
No, yeah, no, absolutely. It's interesting. There's barely any conflict in the film.
Yes, it was point. It is from Naples. I haven't just completely fucking fabricated that from nowhere.
But, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, cool. I mean, there's barely any conflict in the film. I mean, the most testy it gets is Rachel Weisz like chewing out Michael Caine in that one scene, and it's like that's done, and then it's kind of done.
I wasn't a fan of that scene, to be honest.
I liked it. Like, it's just like the fact it was one shot on her, and she really, really looked like she meant it all.
She really looked like she meant it all, but in that, I didn't believe for a second that they were even in the same room together. It felt like it felt like they were in two completely fucking separate rooms that had been done at two completely separate times. It just felt a little bit out of sync with the rest of the movie, to be honest.
No,
it worked because it came back into the movie. But at the time, I was just going, this all seems like spoilt brat problems.
Well, I think I didn't get that myself. But I mean, the payoff of it, where she's kind of crying when Michael Caine's talking to the emissary. And like the whole kind of shit, he really did care about my mother. I thought that was great, and I mean also I think it actually gets into the realm of film versus TV a little bit as well. And what Sorrentino's got to say about that, I think, is quite interesting because it basically ends with the film director arguing that TV is shit, killing himself.
Yeah, which felt a little bit like. It did feel like a lot. Like there was a few times where Sorrentino was kind of getting some, personal shit out there and was saying, "Look, this is what I feel about this." So your kind of reaction to that could be based on whether or not you agree with that outcome, I suppose, a little bit. But it's interesting the fact that you've got somebody who's putting it in his films there, and a filmmaker who is as interesting as Sorrentino.
No, absolutely, man, and Jane Fonda's really, really good in that scene as well. I mean, like Harvey Keitel's death. That scene was
brilliant.
I love that scene. Like, the way he does it, and the way that Caine is basically like, it's almost like he's magnetized to the chair.
Yeah, he's in this kind of. He seems to be this trance of, why didn't I stop that? But also, at the same time, thinking, I couldn't stop that.
Yeah.
While also, like you say, he seemed to be just paralysed by shit that just happened, and I can't think of a reason why. And he almost seems to have a bit of admiration for him for doing it, almost.
No, absolutely, yeah.
It's wonderfully done at the fact that you don't actually see him, and we are all spoilers all the time. You don't see him jump. He's jumped. But you don't see him jump, and you don't see any aftermath of it. You just know that it's happened.
Well, I mean,
that
is
what made it wonderful.
Well.
Yeah.
That's
what made it wonderful. You see him climbing up on the thing, and then you go, shit, he's gonna, and then you hear he's like, oh, and then that's it. Wonderfully done.
Yeah, absolutely.
The more I talk about it, the more this film's fucking going up in my estimation, and it was already pretty high.
Yeah, man. The thing is, if I watched it fully sober, I don't know whether it would have had the same effect on me. But you like on the outside, you go to this film thinking, right, okay, it's like like an Italian art house director, making a film with Michael Caine and Harvey Keitel, I'm going to have to like pay attention and be like rock solid on it.
Yeah,
It was just, I was happy just to be a bit woozy and just watch them talk. And
that was kind of my feeling behind it. Was I was looking forward to it because I didn't like the Great Beauty as much as you, but I certainly liked it, and I very much liked This Must Be the Place. But I was sort of, the reason why I was a little bit apprehensive about it was I was going, you know what? I had a really heavy week at work, a really heavy week next week. Do I really want to watch a 2 hours, 10 minutes sort of movie that I know is going to be good, but is it going to be hard work to fucking get through?
Yeah. Is it the assassin?
Within 5 minutes. Yeah, within 5 minutes I was, actually no, this is quite floaty and nice, and there's a lot of fun within it, and it works really well. Paul Dano's fantastic in this movie. He seems to be. He picks his roles quite well, and you know, he very much, he doesn't throw himself at a lot. He tends to stand back and, right, I'll do this, and it worked really well. You know, the whole I'm building this character, and then he fucking comes out in the Hitler thing.
Oh my god!
Oh,
fucking scene made me laugh.
And then and then all of a sudden, and then he's sat there going, "Yeah, I can't do this. I don't want to do it." And it's like, oh, brilliant! He really is a great actor. I think, to be honest, I think.
But I mean, that, like, the moment where he's talking to Harvey Keitel and saying, like, I don't want to do tragedy. I want to do, like, oh God, what is it he says, like, passion or desire. Yeah. Like, you know, and
before I want to do design, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's lovely. I mean, I think it's the only scene that Keitel and Dano actually have together as well, and it's or at least alone together, and it's a lovely scene. It's very well played out, and just the fact that, again, Dano's not playing young, just wants to kind of shit all over everybody. Oh, you're old as fuck, piss off. Like, no, he's articulate and thoughtful, and the one time that he is nasty to someone, he gets really chewed out for it.
Yeah, and the good thing is he turns round. He gets kind of chewed out for it, for being a little bit snipey about something. And then when she walks off, he kind of turns around and he almost goes, essentially, for all they're saying, they kind of jokingly kind of say it to him in a roundabout way, kind of deserve that a little bit. And he goes, yeah, I fucking did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Is what essentially it does, but it's done in such a lovely way that you don't think he's a dick. It's just, he's got to that reaction place where he's like that. And then when the kid comes up to him, and his reaction to that's great. You're like, Mr. Q, then. And she's like, no, that other movie. It's like, no one saw that
film. Yeah.
It's a great reaction. It's and then she explains it, and then just fucking walks off, and he's like, that's it. It kind of, it adds kind of a moment of meaning. It's that, again, it takes you back. It's those little moments of levity that make everything, and it's like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's most definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit. Yeah.
I really, really, really wish I'd watched it before top 10 at the end of the year stuff, because I think it would have been in there for me. And
I think it would have been there for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and I'm kind of annoyed that it's going to be like January 2017, where like it may well crop up in the list, and it's like, Youth, yeah, it was like a year ago, but yeah, Youth, you know. But
to be honest, I
mean, I watched The Walk, and I could have watched Youth.
But but there is the reason why you watched The Walk instead, because you were looking at it going, The Walk, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt putting on a French accent, and it's a little bit of they've framed it as kind of like an action adventure film, rather than Youth, where it's, look, this is going to be really nice, but it could be quite fucking hard going.
If we weren't reviewing it, it would have been a while before I got to it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I was, when you said I was joining Youth, I thought, oh, actually, yeah, I really would, because I really want to watch it, but I know what will happen. I won't watch it. Mm-hmm. I'll keep on watching something else, and then I'll eventually get to it one day. And if I would have done, I'd been kicking myself, going, fuck, why not watch this earlier?
Yeah.
It is one that I will definitely revisit towards the end of the year, just to refresh myself with for the end of year list for next year. Just because 2 reasons: one, to refresh myself, and 2, because I'll actually be thoroughly ready to rewatch it again. To be honest,
totally. Yeah, same. I'm already looking forward to rewatching it, and I'll be drunk when I do it.
Why not?
Definitely not shit. It's really worth your time.
Absolutely, yeah, it is.
Okay, so shall we sojourn into some what we watched?
Why not? Yeah, cool.
Do you want to kick us off?
I can do, yeah. I rewatched There's Something About Mary this week. Now, I saw this once before. I saw it in the cinema when it first came out, so we're talking 98, so nearly 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 years ago. So I saw it then, and I hated it, to be honest. Couldn't stand it. And then someone was talking about it the other day, and I thought, do you know what? I should give it another go. Because maybe I was in a funny mood or something. And I thought, right, I'm going to crack on, I'm going to give it another go and see, if now, fucking 20 years later, which I didn't think it was that bloody long ago, it's kind of changed. And within fucking 10 minutes of the film, I was very much going, yeah, all right, I was completely fucking wrong about this. This is hilarious. The fucking Keith David as the stepdad, chewing him out, the ball scene, the whole fucking thing. It starts out like a lot of Farrelly Brothers movies. It starts out absolutely just going bang. Here you go. We'll get you laughing to start off with. And then we'll take it down and we'll take you into some story and we'll pepper laughs through and then we'll go for a big fucking laughter end at the end. And it's Cameron Diaz at her kind of peak endearingness, I suppose. Where it's interesting the fact that bless you, where she's top billing. And she should be, because the film's called There's Something About Mary. It's not called There's Something About Ben Stiller's character. But it's great the fact that at the time, Cameron Diaz was seen to be you can fucking lead this movie, and it wasn't like what they'd done before this. They'd done Kingpin, hadn't they? And it had bombed absolutely, and so they didn't think. I think they only got There's Something About Mary. They only got the funding for it because they had Cameron Diaz on board, and that's why they allowed them to fucking do it. And Matt Dillon did it because he was dating Cameron Diaz at the time. Ben Stiller wasn't the star that he is now, and it was kind of one of those where they picked people up along the way, really. Yeah. And so I was reading a thing about it where they said we threw everything at it, and we threw as much as we could, and we wanted to make it a really dark comedy because we thought this is going to be the last film we'll make. We won't make another film after this.
Yeah.
Because they won't let us, because this film will make no fucking money. And then it ended up being like one of the runaway hits of the year. And you can absolutely see why. It still stands up as genuinely funny. The first kind of 15 minutes are just pure fucking gold. It does start to, as the story kicks in, it does start to peter off a little bit, and it stops being as funny, but those first 10-15 minutes are just fucking gold.
Nice. I have not watched that film in I don't know how long.
Yeah, I say it's one that I've kind of gone, well, do you know what? Shit, I wish I'd given it another go like 10 years ago, because I could have got like a watch every 3 or 4 years out of it. Because I still, I occasionally watch Kingpin and sort of the other sort of Dumb and Dumber, the early Farrelly Brothers movies. They've gone to shit now, let's be honest, because Dumb and Dumber 2 was frankly awful. Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed that era of Farrelly Brothers. I think their comedies kind of petered out and kind of gone away now. But at that point, they were churning out some decent stuff, really. Nice. Rewatched The Running Man, which I bought on iTunes.
You bought it on iTunes, didn't you? Yeah, that's right.
$7.99. It's the most expensive thing I've bought on iTunes so far. Nice. But yeah, my iTunes films are up to 27 now, Ian. You should be very proud. I've got their own little genre thing at the side now as well.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I'm getting there. It's great. I like it. I'm genuinely enjoying it. I've already this year, and it's January, I've bought more iTunes movies than I bought Blu-rays last year.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, I'm now. That's it. I'm done. Not buying Blu-rays anymore. I'll just stick to the iTunes because it's nice. So yeah, about Running Man, because we'd had a really long day at work, and we're like, right, we'll watch something that just fucking floats over. And we have this thing we call constant rotation, where it's films that me and Becky will watch maybe a couple of times a year just to have on, to kind of just have something to, to watch. And Running Man's one of them. But the Blu-ray of Running Man's a piece of shit, so I've never bought it. And all my DVDs are all packed away. And so I thought, fuck it, $7.99. I'll get $7.99's worth of usage out of it over the years. It's still a great film. The HD copy on iTunes isn't the same copy as the Blu-ray copy. No, it's not. It's a good copy, because the Blu-ray copy looks like a scaled-up DVD.
Yeah.
But the HD copy on iTunes looks fantastic.
Interesting.
Yeah, it looks really good. I know that because I watched the Blu-ray copy only about 6-7 months ago, and was honestly sat watching it going, my DVD looks fucking better than this.
Yeah.
And it did. It looks awful. But yeah, the HD copy on, what is it? So if there is anybody out there who's looking for a decent HD copy of The Running Man, if there is another 7 people in the world who like that movie, then it does look great. It's fun. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger just throwing out ridiculous fucking witty retorts. Some of them even make sense. This is your Sub-Zero, now just plain Zero. Don't even make sense, but still laugh. So yeah, there was I watched that. I'll run through a few of the ones because I think I've talked about some of these before. I rewatched 10 Things I Hate About You, because Becky loves that movie.
Donald does as well.
So she wanted to rewatch it. I still think that that one of the great kind of enduring images for me, not just of that movie, but I think that sums up an actor in Heath Ledger is when he's singing on the bleachers and he's running up and down away from the security people. It's when people get kind of like sad about the death of acts and things like that, and I got a little bit fucking weird about the Heath Ledger one because he's somebody who's quite similar to our age, and it was so out of the blue. When people sort of say it's sad watching him as the Joker and anything like that, I don't get that with that, because he's the Joker, it's not Heath Ledger. Whereas that's the moment where I kind of go, fucking hell, I wish we'd have got 30, 40 more years of this guy as an actor, because it's not just from this role, because he's perfectly funny in it and everything like that, but you look at it and you go, right, well, he did this and he did this and he did this and he did this, and can you imagine what the fuck you've done after, after with like the gaze that the Oscar, and because he's still got the Oscar anyway, I think, the gaze that he'd got off that, and that kind of somebody who already had a very balanced view of where they wanted their career to go. And I think, I remember Jake Gyllenhaal sort of remarking, that after Heath Ledger died, it made him completely reassess the way that he looked at acting and decided, you know what, I've already got money. I don't need to do anything for money anymore, because I've already got it. I want to just do things that interest me and that kind of stimulate that nerve. So yeah, it's a really fun film. It's also really strange because it was released the same year as American Pie, and they both have the same intro song, which I can't remember the name of now.
This bed is on fire with passion and love.
No, it's the same opening credits song. Going weirdly enough, going back to Youth, very briefly. The title card for Youth comes up like 15 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, I love that.
Which I love. Yeah, it just comes up. You watch it and you're thinking, well, it's, they go, what? You just title credit, brilliant. But yeah, that's something I use. It's a joy of a film to watch. I also rewatched The Sandlot, which is a movie that for some reason I was sat the other day, Monday. I was supposed to have Monday off at work, but I ended up having to go in, and then I was doing some work from home on Tuesday, and I just had this urge where I went, I really fancy watching The Sandlot. And it's a strange one because it's called The Sandlot Kids in the UK. And I remember watching this at the cinema. And it was one of those summer movies. I know whether View did it when you were there, probably not, where View used to have a thing where every morning they had a kids film on.
During the summer holidays, like
Monday or Friday, yeah.
Yeah, good, holidays.
Yeah. And it always used to be, it'd either be something that had been released like fucking the December before, or it'd be a really old film, or something like that, or it'd be a film that didn't fucking make a marquee. So I mean, I saw things like Sandlot Kids and Rookie of the Year and Three Ninjas and shit like that there. But I also saw stuff like E.T. on it, and Duel, weirdly enough, played one. Yeah, so there was Batteries Not Included and Ghostbusters and shit like that used to play occasionally as well. So you get these movies now that I'd go and fucking see now at the cinema if they were on, and it made me kind of remember that. And I don't know, have you ever seen The Sandlot?
No, I can't say.
It's a fun kids movie. Essentially, story. It's set in like the early 60s, and a kid called Scotty Smalls moves to a new town like 2 weeks before the summer. So he's got no time to make any friends. But he sees these kids constantly going to this sandlot, which is actually like a little baseball diamond, that's just sort of in the neighbourhood. And he kind of just goes and sort of stands and hopes to make friends, and ends up making friends with them, despite the fact that he's a little bit geeky, is the best way. They're not the height of cool, but they're all like quite a tight knit group. But one of them, Benny, happens to be a shit hot baseball player, and the rest of them are just decent. And it kind of builds from there that he builds in the gang and stuff like that. And they lose a baseball over the fence, and they can't get this baseball because the house there has a dog called the Beast, which has been trained to kill kids and all this shit, so they have to try and get the baseball back, and that's the whole kind of story. So it's relative throwaway kid shit, but it's a really entertaining movie and everything like that. And it kind of made me think that the weird thing is, I used to cycle every morning. It's not close the view to us. It's a good sort of 10-15 minute car journey, and I used to cycle every morning in the summer holidays to go and watch one of these films, to pay £2 to go and watch one of these films. And that was what you did. That's how you watched films, because you only had a handful at home. And it's just fucking weird in the fact that I'll be sat there in holidays, Isabel, and she'll be wanting to watch something. I'll be like, "What are you gonna watch?" She's like, "Oh, I can't find anything to watch." It's like, "Oh, sorry, you can't find anything to watch in that fucking unlimited library of films."
Yeah.
Fuck you. So it's that's kind of what it reminded me of was the ridiculousness of going to the cinema. And the weird thing is, I didn't have a bike lock, so I used to just leave my bike outside the cinema. Which you fucking couldn't do now.
No.
But you're talking about like in the, you're talking early 90s. So yeah, I used to just leave my bike just sort of propped up at the side and never got nicked. Which is really fucking bizarre. But I remember being like the only kid in seeing a lot of these films. So yeah, it's fucking strange. And the other one I watched The Room, or Room.
Room.
It's just Room, isn't it?
Yeah,
just Room.
It's just Room. Yeah.
Just Room. Yeah. Good but not great. It is my assessment of it.
I mean, you're wrong, but
I'm not wrong. I'm completely right. It's good. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad film. But then again, I have to caveat it. Remember, I can't stand the sound of children talking, crying, laughing, screaming, or anything. It fucking nails down a chalkboard. A lot of this is a child screaming, crying, talking, and fucking shit like that. The kid's brilliant.
Shitload of it is.
Yeah, it is. The kid's brilliant in it. He's really good. There's a lot more than I expected. It's a lot more his story than it is her story.
The second half, particularly.
So there was more than that I expected. I just had certain issues with it, the bits that just didn't sort of work for me. I was very glad they got out of the room when they got out of the room, because I was starting to make me go, I can't put another 10-15 minutes in this. But yeah, once they get out of the room, they got out of the room at the right time for me. Like I say, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was great.
Fair enough.
So go on then, throw some of what you've been watching at us now.
I've only got 2 this week.
2?
Yeah, man, it's like my lowest in ages. I got caught in a bit of a gaming cycle again, which I've now broken myself out of. But
what are you playing?
I was playing Arkham Knight.
I've still not got that.
And I was just like, I played it for like 2 nights, and then just thought, why am I doing this? I know what the ending is. I can't be asked to do all this bloody Predator mode bollocks again. Oh, there's someone there. Yeah, I'm just going to go down and grab it. Oh, I can't be asked. Oh, I'm in the Batmobile again. Oh, great. No, I can't be asked. So, yeah, so I kicked myself out of that. But 2 things. So I rewatched Mad Max Fury Road. Because why the fuck not? That film genuinely gets better every time for me. I watched it on my MacBook, which sounds like not the best way of watching it, but with my earphones in and stuff, I could actually, for the first time, absolutely understand what Tom Hardy was saying. Like, I never could before, but with earphones in, I could actually manage it, so that was something. And I was reading an IndieWire article, I think it was IndieWire anyway, earlier in the week, about the films up for the cinematography Oscar. And they were saying that the director, John Seale, the cinematographer even, he was told by Miller to, like, keep the action in the middle of the frame, at all times, so that it's easy to follow. And thinking back on it, that's actually pretty spot on. Like, everything important in the action happens in the centre left, or centre right. You don't get much happening in the peripheries, even though you've got the widescreen, like, for the vistas and whatnot. The actual action is generally happening in there, and he's basically saying so it stays coherent. So when you got this fast editing and it stays coherent, it's like, do you know what? Fair enough. You got Michael Bay cutting every 4 seconds to the left and then to the right and then to the top.
That ridiculous idea that was put across there with all the shaky cam and the fucking quick editing of, it makes you get it makes you feel like you're more there. It's like, no, it don't. Because you know why? Do you know why? Because I'm not. I'm either sat in a cinema or I'm sat in my living room, and I'm very well aware that I'm sat in my cinema or a living room. I might be fucking engaged in the film, but at no point have I ever watched a film and gone, I feel like I'm there. I feel like these hits are hitting me. No, I don't. I feel like I'm in the moment, but it just sometimes.
Yeah. So no, exactly. So I really enjoyed it. The score as well, I think, is one of the unheralded scores of the year. The Junkie XL does a really great job with both, like, the bombastic stuff, but also the kind of the sweep, like the end, where it's like a lot of, like, percussion, and it's quite grandiose. It's awesome.
It's a great kind of build up. It's a proper fucking moment.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's really, really, really well done. I know it's going to be years before Miller makes another one, assuming he, like, frankly, kind of is able to work that long. But I want to see more, you know.
Well, in the talk, I'm starting to shoot the second one in 2017.
Well, he's already said, like, because he was misquoted a couple of weeks back saying, I'm never going to make another one again. And it was like, it's not going to be his next thing. He wants to do something smaller and then kind of build himself back up to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't a Trump production, but it took time from we're making Mad Max 4 or we're rebooting Mad Max, however they kept on putting it. From there to actually the film fucking being released and existed, you know, there was a lot of kind of like, it took a few years to get to that point.
Well, they were close to doing it with Gibson in the early noughties, and then something happened. I think it was something to do with some of the financing collapsed, so they were unable to do it. And obviously, Mel Gibson became Mel Gibson Madman.
Yeah.
So
you know,
so that kind of went away. But it's interesting as well. I said on our WhatsApp thing the other day, but my cashing out for my bet for Best Director for George Miller, it continues to go up. On Friday, I put in £3, and I'm now being offered £5.40 to cash out. And
is that plus your £3 as well?
No,
That's inclusive of your £3
plus £2.40. So
but for £3, I'd hold back on that motherfucker.
No, I'm going to, but it's just the fact that they're offering me almost double to cash out before it's even announced. You know, I love how the odds are shortening on him. So
that motherfucker's got legs. When you first said it, I thought, I can't see that. And then the more I think about it, I think, do you know what? Actually, I think he's right on that one. I think you're right.
I'm stunned if he doesn't win it. The thing is, as much as I like, say, Spotlight, I would be annoyed if Spotlight won it.
Yeah,
Fury Road.
Spotlight's a great movie, but its story is a great movie. That's the greatness of it. It's not, it's not badly directed.
Of it and the writing are great, you know.
Yeah, but the directing is
fine.
Fine. Whereas the star of Mad Max isn't Hardy, isn't Charlize Theron or anybody like that. It's Miller's. Boom! There you fucking go.
Yeah.
This is a movie I've wanted to make for 30 years, and finally, I'm fucking making it.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it's not because we can do everything in CG. It's because finally we can actually do it all in practical, and we've got the technical capabilities to do it because we've got this type of camera where I can go like that, and the camera stays there.
Yeah,
it's that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just. It's so fucking impressive. It's so impressive, that film, and it just, I don't know, it blows my mind.
The insane thing is, at the start of the year, right, we all knew Mad Max was happening. The trailer broke for it when we were recording, and we actually stopped to watch the trailer, didn't we? But we all knew it was happening. But we hadn't seen anything about it. If you'd have said to us, Mad Max will be in your top 10s at the end of the year, we'd have been like, that'd be really fucking good. But we'd have been a little bit, maybe, but doubtful. If you'd have said to us, not only that, it will get nominated for Academy Awards that aren't just the technical awards, I'd have gone, fuck off. But it did.
The last film in this franchise was Beyond Thunderdome, and now this is getting nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah. And not only is it getting nominated for Best Picture, let's be honest, it's not going to win. But let's be honest, if it did win, you wouldn't go, oh, that's a bit crash, isn't it? You'd go, fuck it, yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's the one year where it kind of feels like every single fucking award is going to be tainted by #Oscars so white.
Well, you see, I've got a thing with that. I'm ignoring it. Much in the same way as I don't actually care who wins an Academy Award because they're meaningless in the long grand fucking scheme of things. And the same thing I say every year, whatever wins Best Picture, that doesn't mean that is the best film of the year. It doesn't mean that we have to go, well, for instance, you don't have to go, well, fucking hell, Spotlight won Best Film of the Year, but I thought Mad Max was, but shit, it's Spotlight, damn. You don't have to do that, so I'm just ignoring it. It's behind me there, and I'm going to enjoy watching the Oscars with yourself, and that's it. I'm just not going to care. It's not that I don't care about the diversity thing or anything like that. It's just, don't tackle it by doing it that way. You're fucking up your own fucking point, to be honest. There's better ways you can do it.
The discussion has been had and will continue. There are things being put in place which will probably see films be nominated in the future. I mean, frankly, it seems like this Birth of a Nation film at Sundance, that thing is already, the narrative is going to be with that next year. Like, it's like that film is going to win Best Picture next year. I'd happily put a $5 down now for that.
Yeah.
It is like next year, like the Academy are going to be falling over themselves no matter what the quality of that film is. And I've heard, the reviews are very, very good, but I have heard some people have some criticisms of it. It already feels like that. Sorry?
I don't think we're allowed to, are you?
Yeah, no, well, quite. That kind of is what it feels like. The director got a standing ovation before the film even started at Sundance last week. It's stuff like that, and it's...
Sundance lost credibility when fucking Paris Hilton started going, let's be honest.
I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know. We're not going to get into this again, but it's just it's the feedback loop of look how terrible we are. We must celebrate anything that has anything to do with diversity. Oh, look, this film. It's a very good film. Oh, no, it's the most important film of its generation. No, it's the most important film for Hollywood.
Yeah.
But maybe not necessarily for anybody else.
And let me tell you, no film is the most important film of its fucking generation.
Yeah.
No film has ever been the most important film of its fucking generation, because there's loads of films that are important to people released all of the time. Yeah, let's say I'm just gonna ignore it. Put it there and go.
But I will say I'm very interested in that film. I mean, the look
great,
of it is awesome, and the fact that this Nate Parker guy produced, directed it, stars in it, gave up acting for 2 years while trying to get it made. I mean, good on him.
Exactly. You can't knock that kind of fucking passion for it. Absolutely, it's that's what you do. You give up shit for what you want to do. Really.
Apparently, even though apparently the last half hour or so gets into some God-fearing type stuff, which has me concerned. So we'll see. It's a film that's very much caught the moment. Obviously, he didn't make it to capitalise on anything. It's coincidence. I mean, good on him for riding this wave. I mean, it was the largest buy at Sundance ever, $17.5 million. And good for him as well. I mean, like, Netflix offered $20 million, but he went with Fox Searchlight because he was like, no, I want this to be on a big screen. I still believe in the theatrical experience. And it's like, fair fucking
fair play.
Bud.
Fair play to you, yeah. But, let's be honest, the Hoover that's going on now added $5 million to that.
Oh no, totally. I mean, and the thing is, it'll make the money back because it's going to be. It's the must see Oscar season 2017 film. Yeah. That's kind of in Oscar season. That was in Oscar season 2016.
Hey, fuck it. It looks like a very good independent movie.
It
so
does.
If that's the reason people got to see it, but it ends up being a success when it might not have been, no matter what fucking reason it is, then I'm all for that. It's good fucking news.
My worry is that just as people seem to be very criticising of people who say Creed didn't deserve to be in Best Picture, I'm worried that those people are going to be equally criticising people who are saying The Birth of a Nation didn't deserve to be in Best Picture when it was in Best Picture. That
reverse backlash,
yeah, it's like I'm already anticipating fucking saying that just because the fact that apparently it's got some heavily Christian overtones already puts my back up. Nothing to do with anything else. It's that already has me concerned. So.
I'll review it as whatever the fuck I think of it, and I'll sit back and watch everyone else pull the fucking dicks off and throw them at each other in anger and laugh. Frankly.
So let's see this time next year, I suppose, because we're not going to be fucking seeing it for a year yet. So
yeah.
My last thing to talk about is the Ipcress file.
Yeah, you rewatched this, didn't you?
Oh, actually, first time watch.
Was it first time watch?
Yeah. So it's on Mubi, which I'm continuing to love. It's
the Mubi, out of curiosity.
$4.99 a month.
$4.99 a month,
or like $35 for the year. I'm already thinking I might just drop the $35 for the year and just do it.
How is it?
I've watched 4 films on it in the last 3 weeks. So
let's say if you watch one film a fucking month.
Yeah.
What's that? £3?
I mean, I don't mean to be an advertisement for Mubi, but they kind of deserve it. You can download stuff and watch it offline. Like low quality, DVD quality, or HD quality. And then you can use it's on Apple TV. They've got an Apple TV app on Apple TV. They've got like a whole community on there, and you can like write and read reviews and stuff. I mean, it's really good. They're interesting. They do like seasons. Like last weekend they did a Jean-Luc Godard season and like 3 films, and this weekend they've done 3 Michael Caine films. So it's like they do these little things, but then like just odd little things every now and then as well. So I've got a bunch of Godard to watch, which I've barely stepped into that, so we'll see.
Yeah, I stepped into it and then thought you ran away from it really quickly.
No, fair enough. I'm looking forward to giving it a go, though.
But other people fucking adore him, and I just... it's not me, but it's cool the fact that you've got something out there that can give you that without having to go look for it by other means, wasn't it?
No, exactly. I mean, the thing is, well, with the Impress file, it was interesting because I've been almost watching this on Netflix for the longest time, but Netflix have a version that's in an incorrect aspect ratio. They've got it like not pan and scanned, but it certainly looks like kind of 1.78 to 1 widescreen.
Was that the shitty when Granada had the rights to it for a while?
They still do. It's they still do. Studios, yeah. ITV
Studios, yeah. Did they fuck with it for putting it on TV or something like
that? That would make sense. So Netflix have got this version that is just, it doesn't look right.
Well, I never remember Danny Baker complaining about that for some reason. Really? I don't know why. It's fucking weird, that.
Mubi, I'm assuming would probably just be like, we'll have the proper version, please. So yeah. It's the full like CinemaScope thing. So this is basically a Bond film if it featured scenes of Bond cooking and Bond bumping into M in a supermarket.
I watched this years and years ago, but I was going through a phase where I couldn't get on with Michael Caine. So I think it was about 95, 96 I watched it. And I didn't really get on with it, but I still remember there's a scene where he comes out of a house in his bathrobe or something like that. Something like that. It might be the bathrobe might not exist. That might be from a different film, and I've replaced it in that. But there's a scene where he comes out with a shotgun out of the house, out of just a standard sort of terrace house. That's my abiding memory of it.
No,
it's a completely different fucking film. So.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. It's directed by Sidney J. Furie, who later went on to direct Iron Eagle and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, if I remember correctly, which is amazing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the story is Michael Caine's Harry Palmer, who is an army man, kind of basically turned civil servant spy guy, who essentially is kind of fighting against bureaucracy, doesn't really want to be there, doesn't really like his bosses or anything, but finds himself assigned to investigating a brain drain, basically, where scientists have gone missing and come back and don't really remember their education and their jobs, and they basically become kind of useless. Which is quite an interesting premise. But the first half of the film is mainly bothered with Palmer getting pissed off with paperwork and bureaucracy and, having to get authorization to do things. And kind of finding ways around being able to do them without having to get authorization. It's quite almost matter-of-fact procedural, but it is quite interesting just because it's Michael Caine doing it. And he's charming, and, his seduction technique basically involves telling women to get a drink for him while he cooks really nice food. It's a very matter-of-fact, plain, everyday thing. But then later on in the film, when it gets a bit more conspiratorial, it kind of turns into Clockwork Orange for a bit, or even though this was before Clockwork Orange, and then it gets a bit more paranoia thriller, and again that stuff's really interesting as well. It's awesomely shot. There's a scene where Palmer is trying to get to someone and the guy has a bodyguard, and it's shot from the inside of a phone box, but it's quite far away, and you just from this phone box just see these guys having a fight, and it never moves in closer or anything. It's just them having a bit of a fight, and then Palmer kind of running off again, and it's
Otto Heller, isn't it, the director?
Sorry?
Otto Heller did who did Peeping Tom. who's the DP on it.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, it's just got this weird, slightly standoffish, doesn't really want to glamorise anything. In fact, makes the whole job look quite dull, but in a way that's almost kind of captivating because of Michael Caine. I really, 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 really liked it. I really fucking liked it. It's an odd little beast of a film, and I watched most of it just while looking after Lottie on Friday afternoon, and she was just like playing, and I was just in the world of Harry Palmer. They did another one or two. I think the next one's Funeral in Berlin. I think I'm going to be checking that out quite soon, and like that title already has me intrigued because there's some references to some shit that went down in Berlin that didn't go very well for Palmer, and I'm kind of intrigued to find out what that is, which I'm assuming the film would be.
I didn't realise it was more. I didn't realise there was. I thought there was like a couple, but there's like 4, 5.
There might be
5. Yeah, there's Funeral in Berlin, and then $1 Billion Brain. And then in the mid-90s they did 2 as well. Bullet to Beijing and Midnight in St. Petersburg.
Not Caine, though, I take it, in the 90s.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Caine's in both of them.
The 90s ones, Caine's in?
Yeah, Caine's in both.
Shit. Alright, I've got some watching to do.
Yeah, he's in both of them.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to have myself a little Harry Palmer season, I think, then.
Yeah, that's weird. Because you'd think that he wouldn't have done them. Yeah, fucking Michael Gambon's in the first one. But the first, the Bullets to Beijing, the first of the 90s ones.
Yeah.
And in the second one, who else have we got? Michael Gambon's in that one as well.
I'm all over it. I am all over it. That sounds great.
And Sean Connery's son.
Jason,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's weird that. I knew there was a couple from, from the mid '60s, but I didn't know that they'd done 2 '90s sequels as well. And like you said, they fucking came them, so that'd be quite entertaining.
Oh yeah, man. I'm all over it. I'm all over it. That's great. Okay, so that's it for me, actually.
Cool. I don't think I've got what else either. Yeah.
Okay, let's do some emails.
Yes, sweet.
So Steve Dixon. Hello there, chaps. Not sure if you remember me, but I used to listen to your various podcasts a couple of years back. I believe I follow you on Twitter, actually, Steve. The Great SD. Yeah, totally.
As well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. After the birth of my daughter about 2.5 years ago, I found it almost impossible to get to the cinema, so I had the idea of delaying my movie podcast listening by 6 months so I could watch the films when they were out on Blu-ray and then listen to the podcast then. Nice. At the start of the week, I decided to go back and listen to the Dude and the Monkey podcast I used to really enjoy. Turns out this has been over 2 years since I listened, which is actually great. Seen a lot of the films discussed, and the ones I haven't are cheap to buy. The first one I had listened to had the start of the Cimino marathon, which has given me the excuse to put on this superb Deer Hunter, Mark's pick of the week on Let's Forget Physical on the YouTube channel, as well as just ordering the long-forgotten Heaven's Gates, which I'm looking forward to. Big congratulations, Ian, on the birth of your daughter, by the way. Pretty awesome being a dad, isn't it? My wee girl is coming up for free and starting to love the cinema already as well. Oh, that's promising. I am about 2 years of podcast behind, so hope all has gone well and all is good with you both. We'll get back on that Twitter thing that I haven't looked at for an age as well. Take it easy, chaps, and keep up the fine work. Steve Dixon. Thank you, Steve.
Cool. We'll look forward to you listening to this in about 6 months' time.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, thank you for the email. It's cool. You got some fucking listening to go through there.
Yeah, fucking right. Okay, and we got Marcus Zizou.
Long-term listener.
Yeah, first time mailer, I believe. Hi fellas, thought it was a pretty decent year for film in 2015, but a lot of the Oscar film nominations weren't really for me. He then goes on to give a list of... Here's my... Okay. I thought he was giving a list of his films in 2015. I was looking at them like, well, they're all Oscar-nominated films. It's just his order of Oscar-nominated films, so that was... Yeah, that confused me, sorry. Number 8, Bridge of Spies. Number 7, The Martian. Number 6, Mad Max. Number 5, The Revenant. Number 4, Room. Number 3, The Big Short. Number 2, Spotlight. And number 1, Brooklyn. Just wondered how you would rank them. Big fan of Youth, which I saw at LFF. No, not quite the masterpiece of The Great Beauty. This type of cinema is right in my ballpark. Big fan of the show. Yeah, well, I think I prefer The Great Beauty, in fairness. Yeah, okay.
Youth for me, but both great fucking films. Is what I'll say on that.
Yes. Big fan of the show too. Think I'm a completist so far, along with Chin Strugger vs. Punter and Film Junk are my main non-corporate pods, though I don't often agree with a lot of opinions. Sorry, it is a thoroughly entertaining listen. Well, that's
good.
shit,
yeah,
man. At least you're fucking I mean, at least you're listening to different opinions. Like, can't say fairer than that. My only couple of things I would change would be a little more world cinema. Yep, fair enough.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get on that this year. I wish I did watch more.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our review of The Assassin last week. Sorry, Marcus. And guys, can we please have a better rating system? I prefer a 1 to 5 or a 1 to 10. Still, it's your gig, so it's your choice. I mean, fair enough. If anybody agrees with the rating thing, like, please email or comment on the YouTube, like on this YouTube stream. You know, whatever. I mean, like, we've never had anybody say that before. But if I don't know if it is a bugbear, now's your chance to kind of
if it does bug people, then Bowerman's get in touch with us. Yeah.
So, Oscar films, how would we rank them?
Fuck, I need to find out which ones they are now.
Okay, so I mean, like, my number 1 would be Mad Max. My number 2 would be Room. My number 3 would be The Revenant. Christ. I think my number 4 would be The Big Short. Number 5, Spotlight. Number 6, The Bridge of Spies. Number 7, Brooklyn. Number 8, The Martian. I think I did my top 20. I think all of those were actually in my top 20. I think they were. So I would refer to that show in whatever order I did there would be my order.
Yeah, right. I've not seen Brooklyn or The Bridge of Spies yet. But out of those, it would go Room, Spotlight, The Martian, Mad Max Fury Road, Revenant.
What about The Big Short?
I know, I just realised I forgot that. Big Short would be before The Martian.
Fair enough. Nice.
On that, yeah.
Yeah, world cinema. I'd very much like. I think I might be talking more about world cinema this year, just with like Mubi and what we watched. But I don't know. The problem is bloody getting to it. As like, you don't. I don't know. You don't get that many big world cinema releases in the cinema anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Weirdly enough, I was thinking about the other day. For some reason, something reminded me of the film Mother. And I thought, I fancy rewatching that. And I watched that at the cinema. I didn't really think, there isn't that. There used to be, the opportunity to go and watch sort of like a lot of world cinema at the cinema local to me. But I don't know whether it's since Cineworld took over pitch houses that they've shortened that kind of market. But you don't seem to get as many, or it could be that they are still there. I don't get as much time to go and watch them. But that's it is a conscious thing for me. I have looked at this year and thought, fuck, I want to get more involved in that. Often though, it can be that thing of sitting down at 10 o'clock at night and going, right, I've got to be up at 7. I've been at work from 8 o'clock till 7 o'clock at night. I need something that's just gonna, and let's be honest, a lot of the world cinema that reaches people, that reaches sort of shores, is often quite sort of serious stuff, and more kind of weighty stuff, and you don't want to start watching and giving your time to that when you're thinking, well, I might turn it off halfway through and go to bed and then come back to it tomorrow, because tomorrow becomes the day after that, and it's easy to do that with something like Running Man, for instance, that I watched earlier. Whereas you kind of want to give something else a go, so it ends up getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So I think this year I'm going to try and stop pushing things back and back and back and back.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, absolutely. I'd agree with that. So, well, I mean, we'll see what we can do, Marcus. It's we're a little bit hamstrung, I think. Oh, sorry, just my bum's gone to sleep. We're a little bit hamstrung by releases and shit, I think. And
but movie could help with that. I might give that a go, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if we just maybe do a bit more in what we watched. I mean, I agree with that point. I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Right, out next week.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it?
Dad's Army.
No, I'm not going to watch that.
Goosebumps, which we've already seen.
Yeah, it's good.
Point Break remake.
Yeah, that's how I know.
Is that it?
Yeah. That's it, yeah. So, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do?
Point Break or Goosebumps? I'm up for either.
No, go on, you choose, because I kind of railroaded with Youth, so go on, you choose. I'll watch either. Genuinely, I'm not going to have a problem with watching either. Well, Point Break, I'm not expecting much, but I'll watch it.
Do you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to say Goosebumps.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because there's stuff to talk about in that movie.
I might actually double bill that in Dad's Army. I've got a weird morbid interest in Dad's Army. That cast, man, I want to see them all in a comedy.
I'll tell you what, if I get chance to in the week, I will on the weekend I will go and see Dad's Army as well.
No, you won't.
If I get chance.
Dirty Grandpa.
I must see that fucking anyway during the week. Do you know what? I'm gonna go and watch it. I don't care if other people don't like it. I'm looking forward to it. And the thing is, I'm thoroughly expecting to watch it and then come on next week and go, I went to see Dirty Grandpa, it's shit. but I want to watch it.
I don't. Anyway. Actually, funnily enough, Marcus actually direct messaged me on Twitter checking that he'd sent it to the right email address, because apparently I go through the end stuff really fast. So, yes, dudeandamonkey@gmail.com. Yeah. It's usually because I really need a piss. At Dude and the Monkey, at Ian Loring, at Dude Foz, and yeah, I think that's probably
YouTube.
It.
Yeah, the YouTube is there. I will have at least one thing on it this week, because I've actually got time this week. Fingers fucking crossed. We don't have another disaster like last week.
I'll have another Let's Forget Physical this week, focusing on Sicario.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And also as well, hopefully we should have the website up and running by the time we record next week.
Well, that'll be nice. Cool. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go see what my mum's up to.
I'm gonna go and pee, and then I'm gonna go and eat like a motherfucker, because I haven't actually eaten yet today. I've just realised.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it, and bloody hell, that's going to do it, and we will speak to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.